Hey there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Today I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. This one starts while he was taking a little rest. What was that? Oh, man, I was dreaming I was eating chocolate cake. Actually, I was just about to taste that first little bite, and I woke up. No, I better check the door. So Billy Bob made his way to the door, and there before him was Stanley the skunk and Porky. Now, Porky was a porcupine. A lot of people think that he was a pig, but no, he was a porcupine. And Stanley said, Billy Bob, we're so excited, we couldn't wait to see you, and that's why we decided that we should come see you right now in the middle of the night. You see, there's a new guy who's moved into the kingdom, and we're gonna have a baseball tournament tomorrow. Well, really, it's more like a game, because it will just be, like a couple of us against each other, but it's gonna be super fun. And we wanted to ask you if you want to play. Billy Bob was like, oh, well, that sounds pretty fun. Baseball. Man, I think I could do that. Well, I can. I played it. But my schedule works. So why don't we get a little practice in since I'm already up? And so off they went to play baseball. I didn't know that knights played baseball. But then again, they do say you learn something new every day. So I guess that's what this is for me. But anyways, they made it to the field that they were going to play. And Billy Bob threw a ball. That wasn't what it looked like, but you know what I mean. Anyways, he threw a ball. And he threw it right to Porky. But it was dark, so Porky didn't see it. Oh, my nose! Poor Porky. It hit his nose, and it hurt quite bad. So they had to take a break and get some ice for his nose. But then he got to eat a sandwich and have some chocolate milk. So realistically, he was pretty happy, and it was okay. So they got some good practicing in, and before they knew it, it was daytime. The sun was rising, the birds were chirping, Porky was doing a handstand. I don't really know why, but you never do know what is going through Porky's head. He's silly. But anyways, so Billy Bob said, well, when's this new guy from the kingdom gonna show up? And they said, well, we don't really know. Now, we do know he's been headed here for quite a while. And Porky said, he had climbed a tree, mind you. I see him in the distance. Billy Bob said, really? I don't see anything out there. And Porky said, oh, he's out there. Pretty far away, if you ask me. Billy Bob looked out. He said, Porky, all I see is a slug. You know slugs. They're kind of like worms, but they're fat. Or maybe it's more accurate to say they're like snails, but without a shell. Regardless, I see one of those, but I don't see anybody who's gonna play baseball with us. They said, no, that's him. He said, what? That's him. Okay, well, here, I'll go say hi. So Billy Bob walked up, and he said to the slug, how are you doing? And the slug looked up at him. He said, oh, hey, Billy Bob. I've heard a lot about you. Heard you're pretty good at playing ball. My name's Silas The Slug. Or for short, they call me Slugger. You see, when I get a hold of a baseball bat, I just swing and it's boom. Home runs all day. Billy Bob thought, how does he swing? He doesn't have arms. Doesn't make sense. But anyways, Silas, would you like me to maybe carry you to the field? Silas, don't worry. I'll be there soon. I mean, probably about eight hours, and don't want to inconvenience you. Billy Bob got 8 hours. That will be time for dinner. Here, I'm picking you up. So he carried Silas over. And it turned out that while he was gone, the other team had shown up. Peter the polar bear was there, as well as Barry the brown bear. It was kind of funny because Barry the brown bear had brought a wagon, and it had just a ton of jars of bone broth, and he was selling it as Peter was warming up. It was kind of funny. Porky did buy some. He was off in the corner drinking it. But, it makes you strong, so it was good. But anyways, they were all excited because the game was about to start. It was going to be Billy Bob and Stanley and Porky against Silas the Slugger, Barry the brown bear in his bone broth, and Peter the polar bear. It was going to be a matchup unlike any other. So the game started. And it was quite a game. They decided that they would just play 6 innings. And this one was a nail biter. You see, it was the bottom of the 6th inning. And there were 2 outs. And it was Billy Bob's turn to be at bat. Surprisingly enough, Silas had already hit 2 home runs. And so the score was actually 4-2, because Peter and Barry had both scored as well. And with these 2 outs, this was it. 1 more out and the game would be over. So Billy Bob stepped up to the plate. The bases, well, they weren't really loaded because there weren't people on all 3 of them, but there were only 2 people playing with Billy Bob, and so it's kind of like they were loaded, but realistically, Porky was on first, and Stanley was on second. I don't know who was on third. No one was on third. It was a joke, but don't worry about it. Okay, so anyways, Billy Bob stepped up to the plate, and he took out his bat, and he tapped the other side of the plate. And then he got it back. Peter the polar bear looked at him. And then he got ready. And then he threw it. And Billy Bob, whoosh, he hit it. And it kept sailing higher and higher. It was a home run. Everybody was running. They were all jumping up and down. Yes. It was so exciting. It was so much fun. So Billy Bob's team won. And Barry the brown bear was quite a good sportsman, as were his teammates, of course. But he was such a good sportsman that he gave everybody a free jar of bone broth. But then he also offered them an amazing deal where if they bought 1 more jar, they would get 2 additional free. Porky was getting so many jars of bone broth, it was crazy. He had this backpack on. He's walking around saying, "This stuff's great." That was quite a day. But like every other day, it was time to go home. So Billy Bob got ready and he went home. He said goodbye to his friends and goodbye to Silas, who he actually dropped off at his house because Silas said something about it being about a 2-day journey. It's about 50 yards. And Billy Bob got home and he said, "I sweat a lot today. I should take a bath." I splash, I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. Rub-a-dub-a, just relaxing it. Someone's at the door. Oh, here I go again. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.